Everybody, G Bear out here homesteading the desert, February 24th. As you can see on my thermometer here, it's 43 degrees outside right now and 66 degrees inside. And, well, 65 now. I did just open the door. But, yeah, this morning I woke up and it was 19 degrees outside and it was 72 inside. So I was very comfortable. And the nice thing is that today there is no wind. It's calm. And yesterday and the day before, the wind gusts were 20 to 30 miles an hour and sustained, I would say, about 21, 22 miles per hour. I was creating a lot of electricity. Right now, I've got 13.5 in the banks, and that's without the turbine running. That's just the solar panels. So I've got plenty of electricity, and I'm going to be using some here in a little while because I've got a project outside we'll get to in a second. I'll show you that. I just wanted to first touch on what I was dealing with out here with the temperatures. But the wind chill yesterday, it only got up to about 50 for the day. But with that wind chill, that 20-mile-an-hour wind chill, oh my God, it was cold. I didn't get anything done except went and picked up some materials. Well, let's start out here. This neat little table here I got from Steve and Sharon, and that's going to be a nice addition to my porch out here. It'd be nice, put a chair on each side of it, and have a place to set our drinks and sandwiches when we're having lunch. This box, I bought 10 solar lamps, and this is the last one right here. I didn't put this one in because I wanted to show you what I was doing. Anyway, this comes out right here where my thumb is, and it leaves that post, those pipes down there. That's the bottom part of this. I don't need that part. And then you just unscrew a quarter turn on this upper part here. I can't do it one-handed, but then you can take the tag out, and you can see these are $1 a piece. And they got a little solar panel on top and then a single LED. Well, last night I put one out here and let it charge up from the afternoon until nighttime, and it came on last night, and it's a nice little subtle ambient lighting. It doesn't give me a lot of light pollution, but it's just kind of a decorative thing. Also on this table, you see my 2 bags here, and this one is a Fuji apple, and this one is peach. And I picked those up at a grocery outlet, and they were $9 a piece. And what's inside of here are wood shavings. And I just saved the wood shavings because I'll have a use for those down the line. For the winter time, I'll be using a composting toilet inside of the bathroom. Again, I mentioned before the toilet that I have in there, the full-size toilet, will be for water only, and that's going to be my gray water all goes for irrigation, so I don't want to put any black water down my drains, and I'll have a composting toilet in there with wood shavings, and those work pretty good. I saw YouTube on it. I can't remember the name of the person that did the YouTube because I've been watching thousands of them, but it was a pretty interesting little project, and I think I'll be doing that down the line. Next, you can see my wire running here. That's a 100-foot 12-gauge extension cord. I have it plugged in up there beside the cooler on the porch, and it runs over to the second container, and I'm going to be doing some work in there. All right, let's move over. Oh, another thing I got from Steve and Sharon, thank you, are these tiki torch poles, and this is what I'm doing with those little lights. I turn the tiki torch extinguisher covers, tongue tied there. Anyway, I turn those upside down and put them down on the bottom so they house the lighting and just keep that much lighting to come out. So like I said, it's subtle. And then the solar panel on the top there charges them during the day, and they come on at night. Well, I put them starting way back there behind the outhouse, and they come around and line the driveway, and they go all the way down about every 25 feet, all the way down to the main entrance of my driveway. So I'm going to see how that looks tonight. I may move those around in the future, but for right now, that's what I did with them. Next, this big roll of wire here. This is a 72-inch or 6-foot tall by 100-foot, and it's got little 1/2-inch openings in it, just barely the size of the tip of my finger be able to fit inside of that. So this is called avian wire. It's for birds, and that's what I wanted. I'm going to be using that on my garden house, and the bottom 2 feet of the walls will have 1/4-inch mesh, so that the critters run up, they come to that point, and they realize that they're not getting in. If they tunnel underneath, they're going to come up to this stuff, because this will be lining the floor. I've got 2 more rolls of this coming. The place I bought it from down in the city of Orange is Orange County Farm Supply, and they had the best price on this, so I bought the 3 rolls I'm going to need there, and I don't need all of the 3 rolls for my garden shed, but whatever's left over will go on to my chicken coop, and that'll cover the bottom half of the chicken coop, and then the top half I still have a whole roll of regular chicken wire left over, so I can cover the roof and the upper parts of the walls with that, so that the crows don't get in there and attack my young chicks, and they've been known to kill baby chickens, so I don't want that to happen. And the coyotes can't climb over because it'll be completely boxed in. Okay, yesterday when I was coming back from picking up materials, down the road somebody had pulled in underneath the power lines down by the highway, and they dumped some trash over there. There was 2 metal, they look like truck boxes, and I wished I could have pulled them out, but they said they had laser cut in the tops of them, Bank of America. So somebody wasn't too smart dumping in the desert and leaving traces as to who to go see about it. And apparently some contractors or fly-by-nights were doing some work for Bank of America, and this big coupler was in with the group of junk. So I took this, because this thing has to weigh, I'd say 7 pounds easy. And I'll come up with a use for that down the line. And for right now, it'll sit right there. You see my HVLP sprayer there. That's for when I get to the oil paints that I need to spray around here. It's a lot easier to clean up than my airless sprayer. All right, moving around. You see I got all my paints pulled out right there, because I was going through them and categorizing them as to alkalides, glosses, semi-glosses, primers, and then interior and exterior paints. Well, those 4 right there are all interiors, and they're all basically whites or slightly off-white. So those will all be going into this 5-gallon pail, along with these 2 little quarts I have here that are just off-white or slightly tannish. And that's going to give me 4.5 gallons of paint in that bucket. And what I'm going to be painting are the inside walls of this new container, because you can see these are pretty beat up compared to the first container I got, which is kind of a letdown to me. The guy brought it in at night, and I didn't get to see this until the next day, but nothing that a coat of paint won't take care of. But I paid $800 more for this container than I did for this first container. And I'm going to show you, I didn't paint the walls in this one, but look at the condition of the walls here. What a difference, huh? The walls and the ceiling, and we got a few scrapes and scratches here, but no rust, no big dents. It's just kind of ridiculous. This one cost me $18.75 delivered, and I tipped the guy, the truck driver, $25, because he did such a great job of bringing it in and plotting it here, even though it was the winter rainy season. I didn't have too much trouble with him. He did postpone one day because it rained, and I kept telling him on the phone, it didn't rain here. It's dry as can be. You can come on up. But he didn't want to risk it, so he came the next day instead. But it's here. It's been here for a year, and it was definitely a good deal on this one. Everything, I mean, the doors, everything worked great on this. It's beautiful. Now this door, I had to oil the heck out of it and give it a few beats here and there with a 2-pound hammer to get it to swing open. And it still takes a little effort to get it to open, but this one won't be opened very often. Like I said, this is going to be mostly for storage of dry goods and extra blankets, pillows, clothing, things like that. You know, I put the winter clothing in here in the summertime, put the summer clothing in here in the wintertime, and that frees up room inside the cabin. But you see, I got everything over to one side here, and I've got my airless sprayer here. And this is going to be what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to start in the back there, and I'm going to spray the ceiling, back wall, and this wall, and then I'll move all this stuff across the container to the other side, and I'll spray that last wall. And see if I can get this whole thing painted today and let it start drying. It's warming up pretty nicely out here. I have just a light sweatshirt hoodie, zipper up hoodie on, and I'm in shorts and just wearing a t-shirt underneath. All right, now I was telling you about the winds yesterday, and you want to see how strong those winds were. Well, look at this. There's that 350, 300, 400 pound door laying on its side. The wind grabbed these doors from against that container and flipped them down. Nothing broke, but there's a lot of dirt and dust on top of the doors, and the pallet in between the two kept these from actually slamming down onto the other ones. So that was a good idea of me putting that in there. I did notice that the inside glass popped out right here, but that's not a big deal. Like I said, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with these yet, but down the line these will get used or utilized, and we'll go from there. Now I've got a chore because these things are heavy, and I'm going to have to get them either standing back up or get them moved, one of the two. And I haven't decided yet, so I'm not going to do anything with them. They may be easier to move if they're down like this. I can bring my small trailer in with my ATV, back it right in here, and then I can slide one of those doors or two of those doors onto the little trailer and haul them out of here. And then I can rig up something with the front bucket of the ATV and lift this thing up enough till I can put 2 supports under the 2 corners, and then I can back my trailer underneath it, and then I'll go to the other side and I'll use a bar to lift the other side and slide it onto the trailer, and then I can pull that one out of there. Hey, I just thought of all that standing right here. And then these two, again, these are full of water, and these are 47-gallon barrels. So 47 times 8, there's about 400 pounds each. I'm not going to be lifting those to move them, so I'm going to be draining some of the water out of there this trip, and getting the trees all watered down, because rain still has evaded me out here. I still have the same amount of rainwater in my barrels that I had before. Nothing has changed there, so I did make this trip up here. I cut short my work that I was doing so that I could get back up here, because I was afraid. I didn't change out my propane container since last October. The first container has been running up here, and I keep a pilot light on inside all the time, and I've been using it for cooking and heating and all that stuff. And I was afraid that it was going to run out, and then I was going to have frozen pipes and a real plumbing mess inside the cabin. Well, hey, I'm still running on that bottle, and I still can't lift it. So I think there's probably still another 20 pounds of propane left inside that thing, and 20 pounds should last about 2 weeks. So I will switch it out before I leave today, or leave to the place on this trip. and I'll take it down and get it refilled and bring it right back up again. And that'll keep me going again until summertime, so I won't have to worry about it. All right, same thing with the motorhome. Everything on the motorhome is running great. I thought I'd forgotten to open the second propane bottle on that, and I thought I was going to run out of propane and lose the pilot light heat that's inside that place and have frozen pipes and that. Nope, no problem. I did remember it, and both of them are wide open, and my little gauge on there is saying that I'm still in the green, so I've got plenty of propane going, and I don't have to worry about that. All right, everybody, I'm going to get some work done here. I'll do another video later and show you what I've accomplished, and we'll go from there. G-Bear signing off from another episode of Homesteading the Desert.